Hey guys, welcome to Behind the Box. It's a new TV show that the three of us are putting on. It's a conversational show just talking about video entertainment. We're going to watch some stuff during the week and then we'll come get together every Wednesday or Tuesday night. It'll post every Wednesday and kind of talk about what we saw this past week and what we're interested in. We want to thank Lucky Dog Productions, Donald Smith. He provided all this awesome gear that we have here. Also, Jay Burgess.
Also, Mr. Jay Burgess from the production warehouse, which is where we're shooting right now.
Yeah, he gave us this great space, this great studio here.
You can't really tell because, it's all magic.
Yeah, maybe magic.
We built as a nice little makeshift set.
It's a little warm.
For our pilot episode.
A little warm, but it works out for our purposes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, Robbie, you want to kind of tell them kind of the idea behind our
All right, well,
show?
Behind the Box is the title of our show, obviously, and you can tell a little bit here. Usually we work behind the scenes. Me and Nick usually work together a lot. Raphael joins us sometimes with Lucky Dog. And we're usually behind this TriCaster system here, putting on whatever shows we're going to, whether it be Riverfest, whatever, and we were talking about doing a talk show, and, I think it was actually Donald Smith's idea that we kind of make it into, well, why don't you direct it and be the crew while you're doing the show? And we liked it, one, because we don't got to pay anybody, and, two, it was a pretty cool concept. So when you see the switcher over here and everything, I'm actually directing this live, and we're monitoring our audio live, and we're going to try to do a 3-camera shoot while we host the show. So that's the concept. We are behind this box.
Yeah, so the idea is that the box is the TriCaster, and we're sitting behind it, but also that a box is a screen. So anything that you see on a screen, we could be talking about. So it's kind of behind the scenes of the screen that you're viewing your
Any screen size, from cell phone, laptop, TV, anything, because you can get information from anything nowadays.
Yeah, it's 2014. It's the digital age. I think we're coming into it.
Definitely.
Well, let's start it off. Let's go ahead and talk about some of our topics today. I'm going to start with.
I guess I'm giving a start with our television
Roberto.
topics here. I'm
Go for it.
specialty in television and music here, and the first thing I want to kind of start out with is Halt and Catch Fire. I don't know if you guys caught that brand new show on AMC this past Sunday, and I thought it was a pretty good show. Definitely a really good driving show, a driving AMC drama. They've had some good ones in the past. Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, obviously we're huge fans of.
Kudos to that.
Yes. So did you catch it, Nick?
Yeah, I watched it. I DVR'd it and watched it on Monday night, but it was really good. I liked it a lot. I mean, we were talking about it a little bit beforehand, off camera a little bit, but it's definitely one of those great character dramas that AMC is known for. And I mean, they're definitely stepping in to, I think HBO kind of paved the path for this great programming, because personally I don't watch a lot of like network television, so AMC is definitely my go-to channel for what to watch, and this new show I think is going to be my new show that I'm going to definitely catch every week.
I mean, and just to fill everybody in who really has no clue what we're talking about here, Halt and Catch Fire, the drama on AMC is basically about the revolution in computers in the early 1980s. And it's a fictional story, but I think it's kind of based on some loosely based reality stories.
I keep wondering what company they are.
Yeah.
Because you think of it as like an origin story for this new company that's kind of taking what IBM has done and reworking it to their own ideas. But I don't know who this fictional company is. You expect it, because it is kind of a past thing. You expect it to be Apple or Microsoft or somebody like that, but you really don't know. It could be anybody.
Well, and they've mentioned those in the program too.
That's true.
But we got a computer engineer who's basically a little underrated, and he feels like he really has no direction in life. He's not happy with just being married and having kids, and he designed this great computer back in the 70s that he thought was going to be the world-changing thing, and it didn't happen. And the main guy kind of really comes out of nowhere and encourages this guy to build this new PC and reverse engineer it from an IBM PC. And it just kind of goes from there. And I know people are wondering, well, what if I don't have any clue about computers or anything? Will they like this show?
Well, I don't know.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's an insight into the past, where we came from and our humble beginnings. And I think that's the main draw on it, personally. That you can actually see a fictional version of what and where we came from.
Yeah, I do like that it's a realistic history. You definitely have that. But I think even more than that, it's about the characters. I mean, you haven't seen it, right?
I have not seen it.
You need to watch it.
But I can say that intrigues me, just the fact that it's, set in the 80s. I like period movies. And
Will you
or
catch it?
shows
Will
and
you
stuff.
catch it this Sunday when it airs, the next episode?
What time?
It's at 10 o'clock on AMC, Sunday
AMC.
nights.
I can do that.
Or you don't have to watch it. I know you don't. You can't
Working.
stay up that late. You're.
But you probably want to catch the pilot somewhere. I'm
Well,
assuming
no,
they're
no,
probably
no.
going to re-show it on AMC.
They rerun it like 10 times a day.
Yeah. So I'm sure you'll be able to catch it at some point next week if you tune in. So to wrap that up, once again, Halt and Catch Fire, great computer AMC drama. It's
Great
on
new
10
show.
o'clock on Sunday nights. The next thing I want to talk about, and just briefly here, is 24 Live Another Day. I have to mention this, obviously, because there's a lot of people who are over this show already, but it ended in 2010, went away, and kind of had a really dark tone to it. And now it's kind of come back out of nowhere in 2014 with a brand new story that takes place in London. And it's really been kick butt this year. It's had a lot of good stuff going on, but 24 is 100% pure action, So and if you like that, this season is that. So if you haven't caught it already, catch 24 Live Another Day on Fox. It is definitely a good show to watch.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit. Have you ever watched it?
24?
Yeah.
I have a very odd story about it. Yeah. Well,
Was it you that said the clock bothers you?
There's a couple things that bother me about the show. Now, I respect Kiefer Sutherland as an actor.
I don't know if I go
Through
that
and
far.
through, I guess. Well, he's an actor.
You got to give
But
it to him on that, though. I mean,
Here's a weird couple of reasons why I just avoided that show, or it just ended up avoiding the show, is because that beep beep beep
You told me that.
thing. Beep boop beep boop. No, I can't stand it. And it's been copied across every other platform.
There is
they're
a highway
parodies.
patrol.
no, they're doing those highway patrol spots
Commercials
now.
about
Yeah, well,
that,
I'm not
yeah.
going to disagree with you on that. I mean, yeah, they've really taken it, but I think it was innovative enough to do that.
I understand that. The whole countdown thing, it sends a message, but
But it actually came from a MASH episode, that concept, way back in the 70s. So,
It all comes from the classics.
yes.
I know somebody that will tell you that there's an Andy Griffith show for everything.
I know who that is.
Every situation in life. Donald Smith will tell you that every situation you come across in life, they have made an Andy Griffith episode about that. I don't watch the show.
You can say the same thing about Star Trek and their technologies. They came up with that stuff before it actually came out.
That's true. They had cell phones and they were twittering and stuff.
Twitter.
Right? Didn't they have Twitter?
Is that
A
the term?
form of
Is
twittering,
twittering
yeah.
the term for that?
I think that's what they call
Okay,
it. Yeah.
twittering.
Twittering.
Tweeting. I thought
That can't
is
be
it
right.
Twittering.
Nope.
No,
Twittering
I-
is like an old lady term, man.
It's like an
It's
old what do we?
Tweeting.
Maybe somebody else out there knows what it is and can let us know.
Maybe.
What is the
All right,
word?
let's go ahead and take a call.
Moving on.
Oh, we don't have to take calls.
Yeah, we're not taking calls. Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
taking calls.
All
What
right.
else you got?
Do you both like The Walking Dead?
Yes.
I love The Walking Dead.
All right. Well, there has been some major news with The Walking Dead, spoiler-wise, for upcoming season 5. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to name the specifics in that. So, but I am going to talk a little bit about. There are reportedly rumors that a main character that's been with the cast since the first season was killed off in their filming recently in the last week or so. And they were saying goodbye to the cast member, and they were throwing this party, and supposedly one of the fellow cast members tweeted, like, "Oh, they're all saying goodbye to this person, and it's a sad thing." And I'm kind of because I see Nick shaking his head over there. I'm kind of, before you even say anything, I know, because I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, you know what? When you work on a show like that, you have to sign confidentiality agreements to where you are going to be sued big time and lose a lot of money and get fired and all that if you leak something like that. So why would they do that?
Well, but I mean, if you look at, you guys aren't into sports really, but a lot of athletes have been doing this, especially since Twitter has been becoming more popular, is that normally you had like press that you had to meet with after the game or something like that, but now they can just tweet about whatever they want, whenever they want, and it's just straight to the people. And they always say dumb stuff. Because, they're not, I'm sorry, but especially professional athletes aren't the smartest people. Some of them are really smart. Definitely smarter than me. But a lot of times they they put their foot in their mouths, and it's like, why'd you even say something? You're getting paid millions of dollars to just go out there and play a sport. Why do you think you need to be vocal about it on Twitter? And then they get fined tens of thousands of dollars. So it doesn't really, yeah, I don't really imagine that it would be that shocking that some actress posts something on Twitter
Yeah,
like, oh, I want to tweet about this real quick.
Well, you got to
and-
think about their life is kind of enclosed now when it used to be wide open where they can just walk into the gas station or walk into the grocery store like normal people, but they can't do that. So,
Well, they
so they
ask
spend
for
most
that.
of their lives digitally. You know,
That
and
is
that's-
true.
And then they feed on people's reactions to what they do on the web or
Well,
on the internet.
if it
or
really
whatever.
happened, I feel for the person who did that because they're going to be getting a good rap from the production company, from AMC, and from their bosses.
We
so.
probably know who's going to die in the next episode.
Well, I think at the beginning of season 5, or it
They'll
could
just
be,
kill him off. It's The Walking Dead. They can just, like, sorry, I know you tweet. We can have. It's gonna be somebody sending a tweet and they just get eaten by a zombie, like as they're tweeting something out because they're not paying attention. You think that might happen?
Maybe.
There's still an internet after the apocalypse. That stuff.
Well, I think the only thing we got to wait a long time because that's what is it done come back to like October, right?
Half season finales that
So
they
I
got.
mean, it's going to be a while before we find out. So possible cast member from the first season of Walking Dead may be killed off. Who knows?
So what? Just a off question here.
Imagine
As far as the apocalypse goes, what if you can name two
No.
things would be left as far as infrastructure? Two things that would be left after the apocalypse. What would they be?
Besides infrastructure, after an apocalypse, it
You
depends
say
on what
as
kind of
far
apocalypse
as
it is. What kind of apocalypse is it?
You say as far as infrastructure,
And
like
apocalypse. What couple things would be left?
But what happened? What is it? I mean, it depends on. Was it like something like
Let's
a
talk
nuke,
about the
or
Walking Dead
was it-
world. The Walking Dead
All right,
world.
zombies. Okay.
There you go. Better said.
what would still be around? Like
Would still be around.
probably the interstate system and the railroads.
Well, they would start to deteriorate. So then,
No, I know, because those things clearly wouldn't be around. What do you think would be around? Because that's where this is leading, right?
Like roach bugs and stuff.
I mean, let's be honest about it. You don't really care about what we think is still be around. what do you think will still be around?
Yeah. I care about what you guys think.
What's still going to be around, Raphael?
It's just opinion.
What
It's
is
just
the,
my opinion.
What
I
is
didn't
it?
say it.
I think. Okay. Packaged foods and student loans.
God.
Seriously.
Oh, I should have seen that one coming.
Anyways,
Sure. The
moving on.
Wise company is investing heavily in that. You know, the Wise, like buckets of food that you can get. Have you seen it? Watch some like Doomsday Preppers, and that's all the commercials are like the food that can last for 300 years underground in a nuclear fallout. Anyways, that's a little off topic. Let's
Yeah,
get
I'm
back
sorry.
on.
Well,
Just
how am
it
I doing
happens.
with time? Am I cut?
You're
is
done.
It time to move on?
You got
All right.
something else you can talk about? We've been going for 13 minutes.
We had the
so.
Stain thing, but we don't. I don't think we got to do
Nobody
it.
really listens to Stain.
Nobody listens to Stain. There was an incident with them, and it was kind
For
of
who?
inappropriate. The band Stain. You ever heard of the band Stain?
Yeah.
All right. Well, they did something. Well, see, you've already started.
Aren't
it
they
now.
like as good as Nickelback? And
I have no idea. I really don't like Nickelback that much, but
why do you listen to Stained?
I didn't say I did. I said I was just. There's something that happened in the news that kind of, the lead singer.
What happened in the news? I want to know now.
Now we got to talk about it.
Yep, obviously. Well, basically the lead singer, it was in the middle of the concert, and
Oh, you made this announcement and stuff like a.
well, there was a girl that was crowd surfing, and some people were apparently allegedly touching the girl wrong in some places, and the lead singer caught wind of that and let it out on the audience in the middle of the concert. If you get a chance, look it up on YouTube. He basically slams them with some really inappropriate language and everything, but he basically says, look, if you guys don't stop this, I'm going to tell everybody else in the audience exactly who you are so they can all kick your butt. And not in those words, though.
I mean, more power to the guy. I mean, you need to stand up for your fans like that. But I can tell you that's probably like half the crowd. Like, I mean, that's what happens when you crowd surf. Like, I'm not saying that she was asking for that.
No, she put herself out there. I mean, it's
but
clear.
but I mean, if she had done it before, or if she felt that that she was in trouble or something like that, you can get down. I mean, at least I've been able to.
I would worry anybody. Anyways, if you're a female and you're crowd surfing, I mean,
Exactly, you kind of
it's just
know what to
dangerous.
expect.
You don't know who's out there. You don't know
Yeah.
who's in the crowd.
Right.
you're taking that
Yeah.
risk.
And I mean,
But
really-
at the same time, you still should be respectful at where you are, because everyone's there trying to enjoy the same thing. And so why ruin it by
Doing something like
Being an
yeah,
a-hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I did. I kind of defend the singer though, because I probably would have done the same thing. So, all right,
More power to him.
all right, I'm done. You guys, it's your turn. So,
thank you, Stained.
who's going next? They'll be
You're
right here
awesome.
with you.
I'll go next, unless you want to go next.
Go ahead.
We'll finish up with yours. Yours are like some
Mine are
eclectic
kind
stuff.
of weird, but
My stuff,
Continue.
you guys might not be able to contribute as much on the conversation, but we'll see. You don't watch TV either, so.
I watched
Well, but I'm saying you can still contribute
it
to that
often. I mean, I can't
conversation.
just.
I know you got kids to feed.
I got to breastfeed.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'll segue from that
All right.
somehow.
Come on, hold on. Let me
To,
get comfortable. Oh gosh.
What are you doing? You're knocking our set apart here. What are you?
The Electronic Entertainment Expo,
E3.
which is also known as E3.
Where is that located?
It's in Los Angeles. It's next week. It's from, I believe it's like from the 9th to the whatever the next a week from the 9th is. So
So it's a big video game expo.
yeah, it's basically all the companies that make video games are all in one place. And they're talking about what's coming up this holiday season. So the reason this matters is because this is kind of the only time that the rest of the world pays attention to video games. There'll be articles in USA Today. They'll talk about it on Good Morning America for like about 5 seconds.
See, I get that because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's
Yeah, I
tons of
mean
money going there.
the most recent Grand Theft
Never
Auto game
fixed.
is almost at $2 billion that it's made. So I mean, if you compare that to like the X-Men movie that just came out, it's made like $100 million, which is a lot of
And that's
money.
in a world
but-
where some people think video games are only for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's,
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's definitely big business. And this year, Twitch is going to be broadcasting the entire thing. What Twitch is it's an online broadcasting service. And most of the time, it's I don't understand how they get so many viewers because it's mostly just people playing video games and talking about them. But it's a personal experience, and you really get to see firsthand instead of like seeing a review or seeing a trailer or something. You get to really see what the game is like and get that person's personality as well as their opinion of what it is. So that's a big deal because YouTube/Google is about to buy Twitch for $1 billion. Because YouTube tried to do the live streaming service, but didn't really work out. And Twitch is actually the 4th highest of internet traffic for the United States. There's Netflix, Google, and I think
what kind
what
of
was the next one?
videos
Hold
do you find on Twitch? I mean, what?
it's just any kind of video game content. Some of them are like shows, but most of them are like live gameplay, somebody playing a game.
So just somebody playing a game for like an hour.
Right.
Wow.
Or multiple hours. Or there's a huge, like, esports is what they call it. So, like, competitive teams playing against, and there'll be, like, an announcer, almost like a sporting event. So those are really big, especially in, like, Asian territories. Like, in South Korea, there's this huge market for esports where they're, like, huge celebrities and stuff like that. They're wearing, like, NASCAR jackets with sponsors all over them and stuff like that. But they're covering the entire show. So now conventional media is trying to hurry and catch up. Like I read a magazine in Forbes, read an article in Forbes magazine where the guy was talking about that he was a little worried because he's going to be there watching all these presentations and trying to get all his information together and then put out live blogging and put out articles as quick as he can. But people can watch it live the whole time. So why would they watch that? So that's going on next week. Next week I'll talk about a little bit what was presented and what I care about and why it matters. But other than that, a few movies that I saw recently. I saw the most recent Godzilla movie and the most recent X-Men movie, and they're making like 50 more of those. They're already signed on for Godzilla 2 and 3. Yeah.
What do you think the 50th installment is going to be like for the Godzilla series?
Exactly.
Probably like the 50th one that was made like in the 80s, like where it was like just whatever different monster that they could create, like whatever costume they had in the back.
Do you think,
Godzilla versus the Man in the Dragon suit or
you-
something.
Exactly.
do you think the remakes are just? I know some people might think they're crazy to remake stuff, or and it's nothing original in Hollywood. But I think it's important that within every technological stage there needs to be a remake.
I like it. I
Don't you
mean,
agree? Like, because the technology in movie making changes every decade.
yeah.
Every
They have a
5
chance,
years
if they
even.
have a chance to tell a story better and do it with a little better visual effects and a better storyline, I would say go for it. I mean,
But like they're recreating some movies that are like favorites of mine from my childhood that they don't need to. They're remaking Cliffhanger. Like, do they really?
What?
Do they really need
Really?
to remake Cliffhanger?
oh my God.
I mean, they already remade Total Recall and they already remade Judge Dredd.
Well, and that's when I will chime in and say, yeah, because when I see that, it seems like they've pretty much ran out of new ideas. That and they use comic books a lot. That's become like the new norm.
Comic books is like most of media that we're watching now. Even stuff that is not like
true.
superhero stuff.
I believe
is
it's called
comic
graphic
books.
novels.
Oh yeah, sorry, graphic novels. That's what adults call them when they still want to read them, right?
That's right. I got a stack.
I never got into reading comic books.
Well, I ended up collecting more number ones than I did actually reading them most of the time.
I never collected comics or anything.
Just to have it, and then I don't know.
So you're a collector?
I'm a collector.
That's weird. Are you a hoarder? I've
No.
been to your house.
My wife would call me a hoarder, but
That's good.
I'm
though.
definitely-
Then she keeps you collecting.
I'm
on the
definitely a
right level.
collector. Oh,
Like a
collect
bone
things.
collector? Like the bone collector?
No, I mean I would collect just random crap. Like sometimes I just collect bottle caps.
Well,
I
you can
don't know
have
why.
all the bottle caps that
I think
might-
there's a lot on this table right now. You can
If
probably
I-
take with you.
If I collect bottle caps, perhaps I can make something out of it.
I want to go back to
Go ahead, sorry.
the
Please, please.
remakes. The remakes. So they
Remakes.
remade 21 Jump Street. Have y'all seen that?
No.
I'm okay with that because of the actors that are in it. I think it's pretty
I'm
funny.
okay with it because it's hilarious.
And I believe there's another one coming out.
There is, and that's coming out this weekend. 22 Jump Street.
Let's see it. You got it right there.
This is 21 Jump Street. And Robbie told me he has not seen it. You're gonna borrow that.
You haven't seen
and watch that.
Nope, I have not seen
It
that.
is hilarious. You
That is
definitely
my
need to watch
challenge for this week.
it. But yeah, so
If the cover says they're getting too old for this shift, watch it.
Thank you.
so
thank
that
you.
might be a
I
recurring
will
segment.
try to watch this week here.
I'm thinking that might be a recurring segment that I want to have is movies that I own that Robbie's never seen.
That would pretty much be your entire library.
Right.
Anything
So
in the
I've-
last 4 or 5 years, I
Yep. So-
probably haven't seen.
I've got about 300 movies. So if we do 300 episodes, then we'll be doing pretty good. I don't know if we'll
Nice.
get that far.
But I gotta have room to fit all my TV shows in. Cause I
Yep.
want,
And you buy all those box sets.
well, I don't buy all of them, but
All
the
of
shows
them.
I really like.
Buy
I
every
buy.
single one.
No, I do not buy
I
all
saw
of
you
them.
have Unsolved Mysteries, the box
do
set.
not have Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh,
I do, however, have Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, well, I don't know if
Laverne.
I
I'd.
have
Sure.
Laverne and Shirley, yes.
I have Full
Watched
House.
it when I was a kid. Oh, I got Full House too. I have to admit it.
I was lying. Wow.
You actually
Yeah,
do.
Full House.
No, he has Full House too.
No, you actually do have a full house, like, because you have so many kids and family.
Why do you
and
keep bringing
everything.
that up? I have 2 children.
Okay, even if it's the most cheesiest show in the world, it's like childhood memories. Like,
Full
if
House?
you grew up watching that show, come on.
And you can get
What's
good
that show?
ideas
Full
for.
House.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Every time we keep
Well, there you go. So, yeah. You can pretend all you want to.
That was good.
So, anyways, let's go back to Nick again.
Sorry.
What's your next subject here? What are we
Yeah.
going on?
All right,
His
so
laundry list is like this long.
sorry I didn't print mine out.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
I've
have
got my highlighghted
all
here.
access to free
He
paper
highlighted.
like
I
you guys
highlighted
have.
my points there. Yeah.
I wrote on a notepad, old school. But the other thing I have is this behind the box experience is what it's called.
Hey, we got to get that name in there every now and
Yeah,
then.
yeah, behind the box. Remember, it's the show. Tune in every
It's
Wednesday.
that little logo down there you're seeing. That's
Yep.
behind the box.
So you don't
Oh,
have
we're
to
gonna add
tune
it
in, you just
later.
have to click in.
Well, nobody else is
Click.
So, Back to the Future. Have y'all seen that movie? It came out a couple years ago.
A couple years ago.
Back to the Future.
No.
They made 3 of them, and the first 2 were good, and the third one was okay.
I can't say that I've heard of
Yeah.
You've seen it. I don't believe you.
it.
That is
DeLorean.
one set of movies that I do have a box set on Blu-ray of
I
that.
keep
Well,
wanting
I have
to
the
buy
trilogy
it.
too. I lied. I know that movie, and I Love everything.
That
about
was a childhood movie. I love that first one. I used to watch that thing over and over, and then when the second one came with the hoverboards and all that, man, I was just like, oh, I gotta have me a hoverboard.
Hoverboards don't work on water, just so you know.
Those boards don't work on water. You gotta have power.
I knew that would happen. That's why I brought that
it.
up.
You just set him off.
I know, I did.
He would do that all the
I
time.
knew that would happen. So they're doing this thing that makes me want to move to London. Like, I don't want to live in London because there's all security cameras all over the place. And, you know.
Security cameras here.
No, those are
There's
regular
one back
cameras.
there.
Where we live.
Oh, there is. But so they're having this. It's called Secret Cinema. Is this company that's putting it on, and they do these shows. They've done one for Shawshank Redemption. They've done one for Blade Runner, and they put on this whole experience, and it's called the Back to the Future experience. This one, and so basically what they do is they set up. They're going to rebuild, or they're going to build Hill Valley, like the
Really?
town, and they're going to build it 1955 style and 1985 style. They said there's going to be little, like, that's not it. That's not it at all. There's going to be little, like,
Just close it.
alleyways and stuff that you can go down to, kind of a secret portal that
Here
takes you to the
Here it is.
2015 set. So it's going to be almost like you're being on set.
Where is this again?
This is in London.
London.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's through Secret Cinema. And then after that, they're going to show the movie, like, in some... Yeah, I watched the Blade Runner video, and they kind of had the whole, even the theater, they had like actors kind of doing stuff off the side and kind of recreating scenes from the movie. So they'll probably do that with Back to the Future. And then afterwards, they're going to have an after party with a Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
Oh, awesome,
and
awesome.
battle of the bands.
Oh,
So
that's cool, man.
Now they got to make the lead singer's hand disappear somehow if they can do that when he plays the guitar, you know.
Well,
I want to go to Hill
oh,
Valley.
Yeah. So just go to London.
Well, if you go right now, you can meet Jack Bauer.
You could ride with Bone, maybe.
I forgot about. Let's not go into that subject.
No, please.
Nobody is going to know what the hell we're talking about.
No,
So
we have to explain it all.
and that's
No.
going to take too much time.
That'll be another episode that we can explain that in. But that's pretty much all I got. I've got
That's cool.
a couple other little things, but if we have some time at the end, we'll get to Raphael's topics now. So that what'd you bring to the table? Something
Well-
about internets or some stuff like that?
I brought in some information about just
The World Wide
awareness
Web?
about the interwebs, net neutrality.
What is that?
Yeah, I've never
What
heard of
is that? Net neutrality is basically about the internet being neutral, where nothing's controlled. It's the freedom of information, and continuing that.
The Freedom of Information Act?
Well, it's part of that. Now, I have a publication here. See, I printed up things on paper here.
You got lots of papers.
I did, because I wanted
lot.
to make sure I had the tangible versions of what I'm going to talk about.
You're gonna read all that?
No. Just
Okay.
basically, just for our whole wide audience who are out there, is what is net neutrality? It's the internet's guiding principle. It preserves our right to communicate freely online. Nothing's regulated. It's
Oh,
important.
sorry, I thought you were still reading.
I thought you were going to read the whole thing.
If the FCC lands these regulations and these go through, then they're going to limit our information. Therefore, your internet package is not going to be just X number of dollars a month. It's going to be exactly do you want? You pay for what you get for.
So if I'm using Netflix as opposed to browsing the internet, is
Your Netflix account, number one, is going to go up. Your monthly fee is going to go up. Your speed's going to go down unless you pay for it.
See, I
It's going to
think
be completely neutral.
I think that it actually has more impact on the small business, because startup companies that are trying to replace Netflix won't be able to pay that extra. They won't have that extra capital to pay for faster download speed. So say somebody's coming out with Betflix. You know, it's this new service that I'm.
I think
They
it's better
didn't
if you
really
say
try very hard with the name there.
I know that was bad, dude.
Okay, sorry.
Fredflix.
Oh, sorry.
Fredflix.
Net movies. Is that better?
It's got a little bit better of a brain.
Net movies.
Oh,
Yep.
Fredflix better.
Registered trademark. But yeah, so if that company's trying to start up and they're trying to compete with Netflix, then they're going to have to pay to get the faster download speed or the faster upload speed, whichever it is.
Right. They
So-
want to pay to be efficient, and the only way to do that is by paying extra money.
Right, so like all these big companies are going to be in the fast lane. That's been kind of a term that's thrown around, the fast lane and the slow lane.
Mm-hmm.
So the fast lane is going to be all these big companies, Amazon, probably Twitch, Hulu, which Twitch is actually bigger than Hulu, but Netflix, all these companies are going to be able to pay for it. I mean, we're going to be paying more than $8 a month because we're going to be paying for it. But initially, they have that consumer base that they can draw that extra money from. But smaller companies aren't going to be able to do that, and they're not going to be able to topple these big companies, be able to compete.
That's why I think everyone should be just neutral, because it's a whole lot of information at your fingertips.
When I was looking at it, I was
so
like,
why regulate that?
when I was looking at it, I didn't know whether net neutrality was the good part or like they were trying to get rid of
now,
it.
what are the possibilities of this happen? Like, how soon and what are the ramifications? You know, like where are we going with this? I mean, is it going to happen soon, or is it in the process of being protested?
I will read it to you.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
Because I'd rather have the information in front of me
here.
rather than just telling you, you know? May 15th, that's how recent it was.
Run down.
The FCC proposed rules that would allow rampant discrimination online, okay, which basically means what I just said, putting all this internet in a regulated form, you know, as far as speed, as far as what you get, you know, it's the same thing with
I don't
those
know if
big-
it'll be content though.
Well, it's the same with the cable industry, you know, they're merging all these big companies, they want to merge, I don't think they merged yet. They want to merge all this stuff, and then you can just pay for, I mean, it's just so scattered.
The thing is, the cable companies already have monopolies. Like they don't compete with each other. Like you can't get Comcast where you can get Time Warner. Like I saw an interview that the guy was talking about it. That the CEO of Comcast was like, we're not here to compete. It can't be a monopoly because we already don't compete. Like, well, so you're saying that you're already having a monopoly, or you already kind of figured out that okay, let's bring our borders. It's almost like drug cartels. It's like, okay, we won't go into your turf if you don't go into our turf, and we can all make bank. You know, we can all jack the prices up. I mean, so much that like Time Warner and Comcast were some of the top hated companies in the nation. And there's like companies that do messed up stuff, and all these companies do is provide cable, and people hate them so much that they're at the top of the list of the worst companies in America. And then there's like Monsanto, I think won actually the worst company in the nation.
Oh, don't get me started on Monsanto, man.
Monsanto, I think.
Monsanto?
Yeah.
Or Monsanto?
That's not the Santa Claus company?
Yeah, they make Santa Claus man, like man Santa.
Okay.
Right? I mean,
Doesn't matter how you pronounce it, just...
I don't even know what it is.
they're like...
You know about GMOs and all that?
Yeah, they're a seed company, I guess, right?
I think so. I mean, I don't know too much about it, but I know,
I know they work with our food.
genetically modified organisms is what we're feeding
I
ourselves.
gotcha.
And Monsanto is a big provider of that.
But they're not on the internet, so let's get back to net neutrality.
All right, but we want net neutrality. That's what we want.
We want to keep it. And
Free flow of information without having to charge extra for speeds or what you get or what websites.
actually
We just
right
want
now
wide
you
open.
can act on it. Right now there's like an open poll of like, give us your comments. I don't have the website, obviously, but Google it.
Yeah, it's
But-
that easy. Google it,
Yeah,
net neutrality.
let
And
people
you won't
know
get
that
charged
you're
much for that
against
because
it.
you're just Googling. So.
Right.
You're not going to get charged now. So,
Oh,
Do it now.
actually, and kind of relates to that topic. When I was looking up how much of usage, like the peak usage that Twitch had, it was like 1.8%. Netflix is 34%, and then Amazon or Google is 22%, and then the next one is a little over 1%. Like that's how much they take up with internet usage.
Yeah.
So like Netflix has big stake in this. So this is probably one of the times that corporations are going to be on the side of the people. So we'll see how it goes. Because it's kind of like these corporations that provide content are going up against the cable companies. So I mean, hopefully some of the people's voices get heard, but it's probably going to be decided between that because nobody watches C-SPAN. You know, nobody's paying attention to this stuff. So
people should. It's very important.
what else
All right.
should we pay attention to?
All right, so moving on. Net neutrality, you know.
Keep it going.
Moving on. Another thing on the internet right now, there's Kickstarter campaigns, there's various other things going on the internet now.
We need to talk about Kickstarter. That's a whole separate topic, but I want to have a segment on that.
Okay, well, I'll lead you to that. I'll give you a segue.
Not right now. I mean, not
I
during
can
the
give
show.
you a segue.
No, we don't need to do that. We're still on your
Moving
topic.
on. Moving on. So let's talk about solar freaking roadways.
The dumbest idea I've ever heard.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on solar freaking
All
roadways?
right, I'm gonna say, it's a great idea, but is it realistic?
Good. I mean, I totally agree with you guys, because at first they paint a really rosy picture of how awesome it would be and how the roads would look like freaking Tron and all this stuff. So they have a really good...
Oh, I've seen the hyped up video.
Right.
It's
They've got a really good marketing campaign. But
The Hype Williams video?
No, it's just very hyped up.
It's very hyped up.
They really want to make you believe that this is it, man. This is your future.
Look at all these surface areas we can cover.
Oh no, it's like they're talking about the
Right.
parking lots, and you could change the way you
Solar
want your
powered
parking
and all
lots
that
designed and all that. And you don't have to repaint it every time. And
My
all that
argument
stuff.
is
All right,
look
well-
at the roads. Look at the state of our roads with asphalt. And we think we can keep up solar panels? Like, what happens when you get a pothole in the solar panel?
Can you get a
Well, you don't get a
pothole?
pothole.
Yeah, you get sinkholes though.
The technology says that you replace the piece and put it back. It's that simple. But on top of that, the cost of replacing it, the glass alone, not to mention all the electronics in there.
Well, think of
To
how long
replace
it would
it.
take to do a conversion of the roads too. We would long be dead before we would ever
Well, that's
see
probably where it's
anything.
going to be anyways.
Well, I know, but I mean, I just don't even see
I'm just thinking of like the little kid that goes out there with a hammer and starts hitting the things.
Somebody's going to do that.
Well, what if somebody gains access to the controls and screws with the lines and the roads and stuff? Then you're going to have people getting in accidents because somebody's setting it up that way. and
Wait,
sometimes-
wait, is this
hack
going to be
it,
like
you know,
digital
If it's all
lines?
digitally, yeah, it's all going to
Like
be
they're
digital.
not going to be
Yeah.
painted. Oh, that's not a
Yeah,
good idea.
yeah. See, that's. I mean,
I mean, they already
Not a
hacked
good
those road signs.
They call it tempered. I think they use tempered glass on these little pieces that have LED lights.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
like the
circuit
stuff
board.
that you put on your bathroom wall.
And then on top of that, you've got a heating element as well. They're talking about where you can drive on roads in the wintertime. They're heated and all this, and the water goes somewhere. But the energy involved in powering the heating cells, powering the lights, and they're LED lights. They're going to be the lines and everything like that. But have you seen LED lights in the sunlight at that angle?
Yeah.
yeah, you're not going to be able to see them.
No, not very much. And throughout the whole internet video that's hyped up, they don't show a stopping test. A car driving across and braking and stopping.
Like what kind of
But they don't show.
friction is
They
on
don't
there?
show anything negative in that ad at
Oh,
all.
of course not.
I mean, not even
there's
like.
still a lot to speculate.
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the point.
Who made the video? Where did the video come from?
Well, I don't have that information,
Oh,
unfortunately.
Came from
but
the internet, I think.
I can't say that they
Obviously.
had somebody who found some
I thought I
interest.
rented it at Blockbuster, but.
Be kind, rewind.
But anyways, I think the concept is great, but I don't think it's the ideas set forth for a large scale rollout. I feel like it's probably good for small parking lots, maybe a driveway that can power part of your house, but not a whole roadway
Well-
system yet. I don't think the technology is correct enough or innovative enough to get to that point where it's going to be cheap enough to produce, cheap enough to power, etc., and then it'll be safe for us because it's just tempered glass. Can you imagine just thousands of hours just going by on this glass and it's just going to wear down?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. I mean, where's the...
Smooth glass on rubber tires. Then on top of that, since they changed the roads and we're using those rubber tires on asphalt right now, then they're gonna have to change the material of the tires, right? To
Yeah.
update
And then
it.
what about all the stuff leaking out of everybody's car? South Carolina...
That's true.
We're still going to be driving tractors down the road.
That's a good point because what about?
Yeah, everybody else is going to have hover cars anyways at that point. So I mean,
I feel like the glass.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
all right.
Those
exactly.
panels.
How many Back to the Future references can we possibly put in this broadcast?
So those panels, you were going to say?
So the panels, we're talking about wear and tear, mud, dirt, and time are going to fade those. And they're supposed to be solar powered, right? they're going to fall apart. They're going to fade. You're not going to get enough energy, you know. And then on top of that, talking about parking lots, right? The cars sit there all day long in the daytime. That's when they're supposed to harness all that energy,
Yeah,
right?
that is a really good point. Yeah.
And so when they're empty, it's dark.
That's a good point.
So yes, there's big open areas, but the heaviest traffic areas, you got the most sunlight. You got, think about Atlanta highways. They're just back-to-back traffic, you know.
Yeah, and I mean,
But
where's this world that I was promised 40 years ago? I mean, I wasn't alive. 40
Everything
years
looks like freaking Tron, man. That's
ago.
what it
Well,
says.
I mean, it was supposed to be solar panels on every roof of every business. Like every business that has a flat roof should be covered in solar panels. Why is that not moving forward before this moves forward?
Right.
Like,
Why do we have roofs the way they are now? They should all be solar panel.
Yeah,
Right?
well,
Enough to power our small appliances at least.
well, I mean, the problem with that is the angle of the roof and that it doesn't get sunlight. I mean, half of your roof
Right,
probably doesn't
you're
get
right.
sunlight half the
You're
time.
right.
But if it's a flat roof, and a lot of the companies do it, like the FedEx headquarters, I think that's in Atlanta. That's like 500,000 square feet, and the whole top of it is covered in solar panels, which is great. But
That makes
they're
perfect
not.
sense.
But it only works in that huge scale. Like you're saying, we should have them on our houses. Like have something up there that rotates, or maybe one side turns off.
I feel like you should have a solar panel somewhere in your property, and then also maybe a compost heap, etc. You know, like that kind of same package.
I got a trash can. They come and pick it up every day. Or not every day, every week. You just throw all your trash all in one. You can put food in there. It works. It works.
You don't put food in your garbage. You shouldn't. You're just gonna
You know,
attract
most
bugs,
of our landfills
raccoons.
are filled with.
Why do you have a
food
trash
waste.
disposal? What do you use your?
I don't put food in the trash.
What do you
that's
use?
good.
You don't put it in the
Disposal
garbage disposal?
Yeah.
No,
what
no,
do
I
you-
don't put it in the trash. That's what I'm saying. I was just.
Oh,
but
yeah,
food.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
just,
well, but-
I eat the food.
You put
The
the food
majority
in the
of
trash, it's gonna
Americans
smell anyway.
do put food garbage.
know.
They just dump their plates into the trash, but you're just
Well, some
collecting
people can't afford
bugs. Well, you
garbage
just put it in
disposal.
you just put it in the disposal and
Some
get
people
rid
can't
of it.
afford that. They live
Rinse
in
it
an
off and you're
apartment.
good to go.
They live in an apartment and they don't have
Ah,
solar panels.
solar
and-
roadways. Yay or nay?
Nay.
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 Dumb idea.
I think it's kind of cool, but I'm gonna say a nay.
Well, I'll say once again, it's a good idea, but not really.
Good idea. It was actually founded by a very nice family with great big ideas.
What
so
does
I
that
give 'em-
matter?
I give them
Who
that.
cares about the family? Let me see this. Let me see. Let me see this. Get that out of here.
Finish reading this novel in a few minutes here.
Exactly. How many more pages you got left on that book?
Not much.
What
you know?
happens at the end? Have you gotten that far yet?
All right, moving on. All right. So a couple of things. I'm a space junkie. I love space. I've never been to space camp.
Like area, like
Space, like way up.
the Final Frontier.
I will tell you, I'm with you. I'm a space nut myself. So
You know, they do have space camp for adults. Seriously, they do. I looked it up. And it's
But-
really not that expensive. You just have to spend a weekend there. You get to eat the food.
You might have to wear a cast.
You
or
get
something,
jobs.
but-
You get the sweet jumpsuit and a pass. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I'm going to go as a full-grown adult, seriously. Okay. Anyway, so
physically
space.
full grown.
Anyways,
Space, yes.
Anyways, moving on. Space. A couple of things.
No one can hear you scream.
I'm a fan of this guy. What is
what
his?
line is that
What is
from
his
now?
name?
It's from Scream.
Oh.
Or not Scream. From Alien. It's from the trailer for Alien. That's one of the best trailers ever. It was like that egg. It just starts hatching. And it's
Okay,
like in
okay.
space. No one can hear you scream.
Okay, so let's talk about
Which you haven't seen that.
the most
either.
latest innovations here, as far as space goes. The SpaceX shuttle. There's
Who came up with that name, by the way? SpaceX.
SpaceX is an independent company, and this guy is just full of crazy ideas. Elon Musk, have you heard of
Oh,
this
that guy, yeah.
Nope.
Elon,
Yeah,
Musk came up. You know, this is the latest thing.
What company did
Sounds
he
like
SpaceX
start?
alone to me or
The
something.
SpaceX
It
Dragon.
does, it does.
The SpaceX Dragon
Elon Musk
is
for me.
I know, but he came in. He actually came up with a pretty interesting national or worldwide travel rail system that's run on a magnet.
In space?
Like a no, on land. He's
Yeah,
an innovator.
we're using that all the time. Huh?
Weird name, but he's an innovator. So just give
If I can
him
buy
that.
his clone, I'm happy.
So okay, buy his clone. It's called Dragon. SpaceX, Elon Musk Dragon. whatever you want to
Dragon
call it.
is the name of the new ship, right?
So look it up. The Dragon by SpaceX. It's a new space transport system. There's some great videos on there on how it works. That's great, but that's obviously for the private sector.
So how far have they
pretty
gotten
amazing.
with the private? Because as like last time I saw was like that Virgin Mobile like guy flying up in there, and it was like they were like, oh, we're in space. Oh no, we're not in space anymore. Like,
Well,
like that's like dipping your toes in the pool and calling it swimming. Like that is not really going to space. I mean, like have they actually gotten to space? Like have they gotten out of our
He's got to log
completely
on
out
to
of
Google to
our
figure that one out first.
well, let's just
atmosphere?
He's got a toilet paper right there next.
well, you're going into something completely different. Virgin Airlines. This guy started Virgin Airlines, and
What's his name?
This guy.
I keep forgetting his name, but you're going off what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
my bad.
I think we're both getting really punchy at this point. Sorry.
We are. But anyways, I was leading into something else, but
Yeah, sorry, the SpaceX
But anyways,
Dragon.
brand new innovation, this SpaceX Dragon, private sector, but then NASA's got something great too, and they also have a great video as well of the NASA Morpheus, I think it's called, the Morpheus prototype.
Are you still drinking?
No, I drank all of it. It's
Oh,
gone.
all right.
It's the Morpheus prototype, and the thing that really gets me is the way the thing lands. It lands if you're landing on a brand new planet and you're on a spacecraft and you're coming down and you're nice soft landing, controlled landing, boom, you're good. On Earth.
Okay.
Now think about the return. Like if I went to the moon, right, when they did, and they came back, they pretty much just shot right down through the atmosphere, and they're burning up, and they land in the freaking water somewhere, and they got to put a beacon up, and then we got to find them. But what NASA did with the Morpheus is more pinpoint accuracy. They can land where they want to, where they need to, which I think saves time and it saves money.
Is this unmanned?
It is manned.
Well, so that was the shuttle. We could land that wherever we wanted to.
No, you couldn't.
I know, but I'm talking about the
Well,
pod
not
itself.
wherever we wanted to, but
Right.
There was
We
only,
didn't-
there
we
was only
didn't-
two
You can't
places,
take the
2 or 3
shuttle
places
and land
you
it
could
on a
land the shuttle.
highway or in a field somewhere. This
right.
you can.
But we're also not dropping it in the middle of the ocean. We're landing it where we want it to.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, I guess that's
I
cool.
think it's pretty neat, and it leads into a pretty cool thing. If you want to just stare out into space, you can. Go
Just
online.
go outside at night.
Go
I
online.
use my telescope.
Look at NASA,
Yeah.
and then check out
That's not
the
what you use a telescope for.
streaming cameras. Hold on now.
Sorry, I keep
Okay.
interrupting you.
You are continuing to interrupt me, but
Bad.
my point is the technology is growing and it's getting better. And if I'm a kid at heart when it comes to space, but if I can pull up a space station on my phone and watch live streaming video of what's going on way up there,
Oh,
That's
I'm in
really
for
cool.
that. I'd
We're-
do that.
wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
you
we were
can
talking
just-
about that earlier, the NASA channel, which you've never had, right? You said?
I never had the NASA channel, but I know that you can just flip to it and you got a live camera somewhere.
I mean, you
Yeah,
look at
it was
on
always the
internet,
weirdest
too.
thing. I was like, what is this show that we're watching? But it wasn't a show. It was just a live camera.
A live
like,
feed. Well, I got
whatever.
DirecTV just so I could get the NASA channel when I was younger.
You can't get the Weather Channel anymore with DirecTV.
Yeah, well, I haven't
no.
had DirecTV since like 2007. So,
That was a creepy picture. What was that?
what else you got, Raph?
Oh, the new.
Bring that up. Okay. This hasn't exactly come out yet.
But they just had their
It is on the way. They made
presentation or whatever.
They
right?
made the presentations. They did their little keynotes and all that stuff, which basically means your iPhone 4, rest in peace.
Great.
They're
I've
not
got one.
updating.
By they, you mean Apple, because we didn't say that.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't want to say, but I don't place any blame. But yes, it is Apple. They've
Apple
decided
Incorporated.
which they basically already done to my first generation iPad. There's no more support on that. There's no more new versions on that. I think I'm on iOS 5 on my iPad 1. which, you know, whatever.
What are they up to now?
It's just these new.
No, not like what are they up to? Like what are they scheming? What number are they up to right now?
8.
Oh wow, so you're way behind.
iOS 8.
Yeah,
Way behind on my iPad
well,
1.
and 7's not the most
but then we're on
impressive
7
thing.
on this thing here.
So as far as I understood it, they're kind of trying to be part of your whole life. Like they're trying to get into the medical field, and there's something else, and they're putting all of your information up on the cloud, and the cloud is cloud-based saving, so it's basically saving on the internet, so it's not saved on your hard drive, your physical disk. It's saved on some server somewhere, so you can. The idea is that you can access it from any device, but the reality is that they control that server, so you can only access it when they want you to access it. So I think that's kind of messed up.
Well,
It's good and it's bad. I mean, nobody's without their iPhone, so why can't you store stuff on your iPhone? But if you lose it,
well,
then
you're
you
still
don't lose
limited
all your
on
photos and
you're
stuff.
still limited on your phone unless you're actively backing it up on a regular basis.
But I think it would automatically now. I think with that new system, it does.
Automatic
It
backup.
automatically backups.
Well,
to
it
the
does that
cloud.
now on the 4s and the 5s on the iCloud, but you're only limited to a certain amount of space.
See, I think it's going to be that same way.
What did you do
Got a lot of
there,
stuff
man?
going
I don't know. I
on
got a
there.
beep 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 beep.
Freak your
beep.
computer.
Sounds
out
like
there.
we're watching 24 or something with this beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay.
Well, yeah,
So
that's cool.
so I just wanted to just just as far as internet.
So
and-
if you have an iPhone 4,
you're not going to get the most recent update with the new.
but you still can use your iPhone.
They've
4,
always
it's just
had
like-
that,
Okay,
though.
okay. Well, since the RIP is a little over dramatic, then I mean, your phone doesn't gonna be like
I
just
mean,
dead. You
you're
can't
not-
It's not going to get the new stuff.
not gonna
But
get
they've
the new
always done
stuff,
that.
yeah.
I feel like they've always done that.
They blocked off the 3G a while back, and when I had the 3G, it was the same way. I mean, we couldn't get the newer updates after that.
I mean, it's still going to work. It's just you're not going to get the newest and latest and greatest options or updates or
Don't worry.
support.
It'll be like in like 5 years, Apple will be up there with Monsanto on the worst companies in the nation. 'Cause people will be tired of it. You know, they fall in love with it for a while, and then they get, they get too popular, and then it's like, oh, we don't really like them anymore.
I'm just
I feel
saying,
like that
just
could definitely happen.
don't be an idiot and stand in line at 2 a.m. waiting for the next iPhone because sooner or later
Donald
your
Smith will be
$400
there.
your $400 phone is going to be free.
Or you could be like me and jump in a pool with it in your pocket and have to get a new one.
All right, on that note, I think we could probably close it out.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, you don't want my stab story?
No, man, no, I
What
don't want
kinda-
to
Yeah,
talk
let's
about
not do that.
Okay,
no.
well,
You can
you
go
know-
on. You can watch WBTW for
Netflix or
that story. I
something.
saw it on their website.
Don't say that.
you,
You might have to bleep that out there.
you stole it from their website.
No, I did not. That's
So-
clearly
It's
not.
probably been
Oh, you're
posted in
right.
a lot of other places, I assume.
CNN
so.
Justice. Is that really a website?
Well, hold on. I got a couple of things I want to add just to,
Alright.
just to close. I know it's kind of PSA-like style, but just because it's out there.
Don't drink and host the show.
No, you can drink and host the show.
Definitely drinking.
Please recycle. Cigarette butts out your window is litter. And spay and neuter your pets. That's it.
Oh, God.
I don't have any words of motivation like that, or words of advice like that. I just want to thank y'all for being here. This was
Thanks
kind
for
of,
having
I would
us.
like to thank y'all as well.
yeah,
I just... It's
kind of
pretty
a,
random, you know. I was at my house, and then suddenly you show up, and then boom, there's the show. And I'm like, all right, let's do it.
well, it's kind of a thing that I've been kicking around a little bit, and Robbie definitely pushed me to, when I brought it up to Robbie, he was all about it. So that's when I was like, I'm going to get Raphael in there. He's got a different perspective.
I got a weird perspective.
Different, but did you want to say something?
I'm pretty good.
All right,
Nope.
yeah. All right, that's fine. Well, yeah, just again, we'd like to thank Donald Smith and Jay Burgess for making this possible. We wouldn't be able to do it without them. We
I
love
just
those
lost
guys.
Here's the card right here.
And actually, okay, I am going to say something now. I've heard, we want to hear from people actually watching this out there.
Yeah.
What improvements can we make? What do you want to see us talk about? It's got to kind of stay in the entertainment realm. We don't want to go too far away from entertainment and technology, but this is our pilot, and we want to kind of grow from here. So let us know what you think.
Yeah, we've got a Facebook page. We're on Twitter.
Click, click,
Uh,
click.
and everything's Behind the
Facebook.
Box TV. So basically, if you go on Twitter, search Behind the Box TV. Same thing on YouTube. Same thing on Facebook. It's all connected. So just anywhere there or behindtheboxtv@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'll definitely get back to you as soon as we can. And yeah, we're excited about it.
Yes, very.
Had fun so far. Hopefully we can keep it up.
It's been all right.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.